it's time for story time. So, I'm gonna tell it. Thanasis, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay, honey, it's time to go to bed. I know. Well, I can read you a story. You can pick 2 books to read, and then you have to go to sleep. Come on, pick 2. Okay, let's see. Winnie the Pooh and Toy Story? Okay, but then you have to go to sleep. Deal? Deal. It was a rainy morning in the 100-acre wood. Piglet lived in the middle of the forest in a very grand house in the middle of a beech tree. And Piglet loved it very much. He was watching the rain fall in his garden when his ears shot up as he suddenly heard singing. He whirled toward the back gate, his eyes growing large as he saw Tigger bouncing in his direction and singing at the very top of his lungs about what Tiggers did best. "Tigger!" he screamed. "No!" But his efforts were in vain as Tigger bounced right into the garden and into his cabbage patch. At least his carrots were safe. Piglet thought as he waved frantically and screeched for Tigger to stop bouncing. It's all right, piggy boy," Tigger exclaimed, seeing Piglet's excitement and not understanding his meaning. "You know what Tiggers really do best, and I save all my best bounces for you." In one mighty spring from his strong tail, Tigger bounced through Piglet's lettuce, sending the head spiraling in all directions and onto the unsuspecting piggy. Piglet screamed as Tigger bounced him. Tigger held him and bounced him harder and harder, sinking deep inside of him. He screamed and screamed at first, but finally Piglet fell silent and let Tigger ride him all over his garden.
Well. Keep the matter clean, so to speak.
He felt like a volcano about to explode.
Well. Keep the matter clean, so to speak.
All too soon, Tigger was done withdrawing and panting. "There, buddy boy, I told ya, bouncing is what Tiggers do best. Wasn't that the best ride of your life, piggy boy?" "No," Piglet lied. Tigger grinned triumphantly down at him. "What do Tiggers do best?" he asked, his wet tail swinging with pride behind him. "Bouncing," Piglet replied weakly. He grinned and his nose twitched. "Bouncing me." "You gotcha, piggy boy," Tigger laughed and winked. Actually, he spoke to Triumphant. "I gotcha." "You did indeed," Piglet whispered, crashing into his arms and snuggling with his secret love right there in the middle of his destroyed garden.
Till rain came down, in rushing, rising rivulets, till the river crept out of its bed and crept right into Piglet's.
Did you enjoy that story? Okay, one more book and then you have to go to bed. Toy Story. This'll be a good one.
It's tough being a toy. Oh, sure, it looks like fun from the outside, but there's a lot more to it than that. To find out about it, let's begin now.
Buzz's scanning gaze fell upon his love standing towards the very back of the yard. "Woody?" he asked, landing softly beside him. "What's wrong?" The cowboy turned away. He dragged the boot through the green grass. "I was just thinking about Andy. You think he ever thinks about us, Buzz?" "I don't know," he said, shaking his head again, "but Andy's moved on, Woody. He left us. He got other things on his mind now, way more than playing with us." "I know, but nothing," Buzz declared. "He moved on. He left us. What are you going to accept that?" Woody sighed. "I don't know if I ever will," he started to say, and Buzz's eyes flashed as he lost control of his temper.
"Reach for the sky!"
He closed in on Woody, glowering down at him. "He left us," he repeated, throwing his hands in the air. "Get over it already. We have a new life here, Woody, but as long as you let Andy's shadow stay over us, how are we ever going to be happy again?"
He gulped.
With a growl of frustration, he started to turn away. "Buzz, Andy's been a part of my life forever. I hardly remember a time without him. He's not just on my boot, he's on my heart."
He gulped.
Woody stroked Buzz's cheeks as he gazed lovingly up into his eyes. "That doesn't mean that I enjoy being with you any less or being here. I still miss Andy, but I do love it here. I'm with you, and we're with our family. We're right where we belong, and even if I never stop missing Andy, I always think about him from time to time. There's nowhere else on Earth." Buzz cleared his throat. Woody smiled. "Or in the galaxy," he added. "But I'd rather be set right here with you and our family. I love you, Buzz," he professed, and then he kissed him.
Hey, wow! Woody! Buzz!
Buzz glowed with pure happiness as Woody's mouth pressed against his.
Hey, wow! Woody! Buzz!
His wings unfolded. His arms wrapped around his love, holding him gently as he shot up into the air. I love you too, he shouted over the propulsion of his jetpack, and kissed him again and again. But then Woody pulled back. But we're toys, Woody thundered. We're not supposed to feel this way, it's wrong. Tell me I don't make you burn, Buzz demanded, his voice low, even, and incredibly husky. And I'll leave it alone. You'll never hear another thing about this from me again for as long as we live. That's just it, he yelled, glad to have a chance to get away from Buzz's scrutinizing looks that read him all too well like a book. We're toys, Buzz. I can't burn. If I did, I'd be dead. And we don't feel like this, not for each other. We can't. It's not right. Ranger, Buzz spoke softly. For the first time in my existence, I find myself no longer caring what's right or wrong. Being in the right means that I'm not supposed to feel the way I do for you, then sign me over to the dark side, Woody. Because rather or not you admit it, I know there's a fire inside of you leaping just as high and bright as the supernova threatening to burst through me at any time. Finally, Woody stopped fighting. His body at first went lax in Buzz's arms, and then ever so slowly and tentatively he began to return the astronaut's touch. He swept his cloth hands gingerly over Buzz's plastic suit, wishing that he could feel how his best friend's naked body would be to his touch. Would it be as hard as the outer plastic, he shivered? Or even harder? Buzz waited until Woody began to kiss him back, and then slowly, ever so reluctantly, he lifted his lips just a breath space away. Now, he commanded, gazing deep into his big brown eyes. Tell me you don't burn for me, too. I do, Woody whimpered. Come back to the toy box.
Hey, wow! Woody! Buzz!
Oh, sweetie, those were good stories, weren't they? We'll read them every night. You can't start recruiting early enough is what I always say. Now sleep well. Sleep well. Sleep well.
Now that you're asleep, I'm gonna go do some work for my second mile organization. Maybe a shower or something.
Well. Lick the platter clean, so be it.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. I know the road is long and wide. Nice bed. Just remember what your old pal said. Well, you got a friend in me.